There's no one in here, so I'm gonna. The rooms are traditionally laid like this. 3 beds per room, and then the bathrooms really clean. 2 showers next to each other, and then the toilet there. It's like maybe a bit of a challenging video to shoot for several reasons, obviously. So not just the people's butt crack that just suddenly appear in the background because they've got their hospital gown and all of that. They are here as bad as they are in Canada, just so you know. I don't know how they are in the UK or in the States, but the hospital gown are designed to make you feel very vulnerable. Thankfully, I've got a pajama on. Yeah. É bom? Não alta nada?
Não, tá ótima.
Um momento. Irene. Look, my blood pressure is fine.
We got it.
Well, good morning, everyone. I've been back home for now 3 days after spending 4 days in the hospital. And I think you guys are going to need a bit of a medical update with what's going on, because things are changing for us. So anyway, let's update you on my medical condition. So where to start? I don't really know. Like, this whole thing started about 5 years ago, where I started having problems with my uterus. I then thought it was a problem with the Mirena IUD that I was wearing, had it removed, and it turned out that after going through an MRI in Spain, the doctors found absolutely nothing. I got a clean health bill, right?
Yeah, because we said at least it's not cancer.
At least it's not cancer after the MRI.
Yeah.
There was nothing, no mass, nothing like that. And then you guys know that we picked so much potatoes lately. And then, so I thought, I started feeling some discomfort in the stomach. And then I thought it was a belly hernia. I showed it to our farmer friends here, and they're like, Cindy, it's a hernia. go to the hospital and have it checked.
Consulta doctor.
Consulta o doctor. And consulta o doctor did we do. I'm seeing a fly on the lens now. Let's see. I've got a lot of flies. And we get people poo. So I think this video is going to be pretty raw in terms of edit, so you have to excuse us if it's a long one, and that not all bits are interesting, but you get the big picture. So yeah, so Friday we went to the doctor. I got to the doctor and I was really, really scared because, not because I was in pain or anything like that, but because when the last doctor that I saw about this medical condition, which was nothing really back then, ended up telling me that my condition was associated with the fact that I was overweight, and the only thing that he could do was either to do a hysterectomy or he sent me back home to lose weight because, according to his medical expert, and I quote, everything is jumbled up inside. That's a diagnosis that we got from Marbella Hospital
What did we do with this?
2 years ago. It's jumbled up. Okay, so since then, you guys have seen it. I've lost a lot of weight, but it turns out that my medical condition is still there. So we went to the Bragance Hospital and met a first doctor, and I was really scared because I thought, oh, that's it. He's just going to tell me that I'm fat again, and I'm not going to be taken seriously. But this doctor was different. I referred to him as Dr. George Clooney. He was really brilliant. I'd say a man in its mid-50s, something like that. And the first thing that I told him is that I know that when you see someone like me, the first thing that'll come to your mind is whatever medical condition I have is associated with my weight. But I'm in real pain here, so I'd like it if you could take the time to really examine me because there's something going wrong. I pointed to what I thought was a hernia, but then he asked me, where do you have pain? And well, back then the pain started here and it ended up pretty much in my lady bits. So that's that. I was then prescribed paracetamol for pain, which totally helped, and did the thing. Meanwhile, you were in the waiting room, and then we were just waiting on the next step.
Mm.
And the first test they did was I think it's called an EKG, so just to monitor my heart, and everything was fine. So that was the good news. Then I did peed in a cup, and then they took a blood sample, and then waited for the surgical team because they were just busy doing a surgery. And then they got out, and then they examined me, and then they said, okay, your case is probably surgical, so let's put you in a CAT scan, and then let's wait for the results, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. The results came in. They were delivered by whom I'll call the doctor from Star Trek Voyager and the fantastic Diana Troy from Enterprise. We've not asked any of these doctors if we can name their names, so just to paint you a picture, you'll get those people in mind. It's pretty accurate, I say.
And it's also when we talk about it to keep the reference of who we mentioned and talk to, because we, as we said, we asked them name, but we don't remember it anymore so much.
And we don't remember it anymore so much now. So the CAT scan results came in, and it turned out that the doctors confirmed that I had a umbilical hernia, but they also found two mass in my abdominal region. We have named these mass. They're called Wolf and Biederman. from the movie Deep Impact. Yes.
Favorite movie.
Favorite movie.
One of them.
One of them. And so Biederman is the smallest mass out of the two. It is located in my uterus and it is 4 centimeters. And then there's Wolf. Wolf is a bit more concerning. In fact, the doctors are not too worried about Biederman, but Wolf is a beast. It is a 16 centimeters mass located on my left ovary. And yeah, that's that. The good thing is my blood results are good. So that means that my cancer marker are negative. So if it's anything, it was caught early, or it's the good kind that you need to get, or either it's a very rare kind that is not being picked up by the blood sample. But we have like a lot of tests to go through still until I have an official diagnosis. Now, when the surgical team looked at the CAT scan, they referred me to a gynecologist, and then the gynecologist checked me in so that I could have priority on the MRI machine. So this means I spent pretty much the entire weekend in the hospital. And then I was in really good company because the nurse, like, they were brilliant. They put me in a room with 2 other French girls so we could all communicate very, very well. But I won't lie to you, like, the first night in the hospital was the hardest night in my life. Like, really, like,
It was so rushed as well.
it really was. Dan and I have been together for 10 years, and in 10 years we had spent one night apart. And then, so I found myself in a hospital bed with limited ability to communicate, I thought then, and my husband wasn't there, and
3% of the battery died.
3% of the phone left, and all I could do was Google a little bit, and every Google research I did were scarier and scarier. And then that just sent me like in a hell of a head fuck. Like, but then I woke up the next day. Well, woke up. I didn't really sleep that much that night, and then there was Dr. McDreamy by my side. Yeah, surgeon gynecologist. So Braganza doesn't have an official team of gynecological VJ doctor, VJ surgeon, and then this one came from Braga, and he saw me, and he saw that I was really sad, and I loved his approach. And then the first thing that he said is like, Cindy, I don't really know how much you know about your medical condition. And then I burst out in tears and I said, I know that there's a 16 centimeters mass on my left ovary. And we don't know what it is. And I'm scared and I've been Googling. But like a true McDreamy, he knew exactly what to tell me. While he's not going to be the operating surgeon on this case, it's a bit more complicated. So I'm going to be referred to Porto. This man is an angel that was sent, I think, our way.
Yeah, he took the time. He really took the time to explain everything. I was almost there for an hour
just explaining and calming. And like just talking to him, I felt so safe, and I understood then that the first part of the battle is here. So I started listening to Shakira like a crazy person. It's time for Africa. You're a good soldier. Like, pick your battle, get yourself up, pick yourself up, and get back in the saddle. I stood by the hospital window for about 2 days, looking in the direction of here, home, where my family is. And I just did the superhero pose. Like that, put my head really up, and I just kept on telling myself, I'm a princess warrior, I got this. I'm a princess warrior, I got this. And then the next day, when Dr. McDreamy came to my bedside, he saw another person. And since then, I've pretty much been the princess warrior that I need to be.
Yeah.
So, what's the next step? Well, I have had an MRI on Monday. Cannot recommend this experience to anyone. It really sucks to get an MRI. But the team was really nice, and I think right there I won my first victory.
Yeah, for sure.
The MRI was, I can't remember if it was an hour and 10 minutes or an hour and 20 minutes MRI, but there was also someone on training there, so it took a bit longer, I suppose. And then they also had to re-inject me with some contrast, and then yeah, it was not pleasant at all. But I kept on telling myself, if you want people to help you, you need to give them the absolute best tools that you can. And my fight was with the MRI machine there. The idea was not to move. Although I had pain then because when I was 19, I broke my tailbone. And that was not pleasant to stay still for what I think was about an hour and a half in the machine, all strapped with the cage and all. But then I'm really happy because at the end of the MRI, I don't know if they were technicians or engineer, but yeah, they said that I should be really proud of myself because I didn't move and they managed to get really, really clear picture. So that was that.
Yeah.
And then I packed my stuff and I rushed back home. like I was out of the hospital like 20 minutes after because I knew that I was just
After the doctor cleared you.
After the doctor cleared me, yeah. Because now everyone's waiting on the result of the MRI just to know more about the masses. But that's that. Yeah, so I came home. The first couple of days were a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
So I've been struggling to eat a little bit because, of course, I have two pretty big masses in the stomach, but today's a good day.
Yeah.
I don't feel so bloated. I can wear clothes because what I've noticed is that the less clothes I have, the less pressure I have on my stomach, and then the easier it is to breathe because, of course, when you have all this stuff growing inside of you, everything is kind of compressing. Eating was not easy, but now I'm managing to eat a bit more, have good bowel movements, and I can breathe a bit better, which is good. But yeah, let's just show you what's happening with my belly. So it's a very vulnerable moment for me because my belly is the part of my body that I hate the most, and I'm going to be showing it to roughly 5,000 people now. But I think for everyone who's going to go through this, you need to get a clear picture of what's happening. So, baby, get your tape measure out and let's show you inside. Right. Okay, let's draw them.
I see it still.
You see it still? Just
Yeah.
make it bigger for the camera so that people can see what it is.
This is wolf.
This is wolf. Bitumen is located in my uterus, so for the exercise, maybe we're just gonna put it a bit somewhere close to it.
So this is. How do I do this?
How do you do it? Amazing, just fine. I know.
So this is 16.
Okay. And Biederman.
And Biederman is somewhere around here. It's a bit lower, but for a sense of.
Take the marker, the tape out, just so that we have the exact measurements. Biederman is 4 centimeters.
It's there about. It's a bit lower, but still.
That's that.
Biederman.
And then right here, that's the hernia.
Somewhere around there.
But that's nothing to worry about. The one that doctors are more concerned about, it's wolf.
And then we have a urinary tract infection as well.
Yeah. I was in bad shape. And so we are now waiting on the result of the MRI to know more about Wolf and Biederman.
And I say if you don't hear anything before the 31st, it's a good thing. But to say the latest by 31st, and if it's not by 31st, it feels that nothing has changed.
Yes. What Dr. McDreamy told me is that, and in this stage, what's important is not necessarily to act fast, but of course there is a sense of emergency, but it's just to tackle this with the right solution the first time. And then I feel very, very good. In terms of pain, of course, it's a bit uncomfortable still, but I managed to just control the pain level with ibuprofen and paracetamol, which is
what they said the doctors is since the beater or the wolf is so big, is the weight of it pulling on the intestines and whatever it's attached to, and they were afraid of that it's gonna start twisting and like effectively just ceasing the blood flow.
Yeah. So now I am on full bed rest. I don't think the woodshed is going to be done this week, and I don't think I'm going to be carrying rocks either. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, we're waiting on the result of the MRI. The good thing is, I mean, I'm probably in the best country in the world to have this done. Portugal is at the cutting edge of technology and has all the absolute best equipment to.
And just the people.
The people have been amazing. From the medical nurses, they were so good. I mean,
even the surgeon, because we were missing a paper basically that we didn't bring with us, and she just said, "Don't worry about it. I'm gonna take care of it."
Yeah, she was brilliant.
Don't worry about it. We're gonna take care of it. So don't preoccupy yourself with this now.
Yeah, it felt like that everyone were really interested in making me better. Yeah. And I really was the star of that Grey's Anatomy episode. I mean, yeah, I felt safe. I feel still in very, very good hands. And for the past 3 days, I've been building my army. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have an amazing support system. Yeah. First, we have each other, and that's super important. Yeah. We have the village. Everyone in the village is behind us. Like, we had several people that have came and checked on us. And the funny thing for us is like, a lot of the times, one of the comments you guys have is like how lucky the village is to have us. But what you guys don't see is that we're the lucky ones here. There are The first night that I was, no, the second night that I was in the hospital, the village gathered with you, Dan, didn't they? And then you got to meet the woman that had a hysterectomy in the village, just to try to get some kind of sense of reassurance, right?
Yeah, that's nice.
And then since I've been back home, I've been speaking with a lot of people. I am so well surrounded. Just in on your side of the family, there's 3 nurses. On my side of the family, there is 1 nurse and a neurological surgeon. My little cousin, she's going to be really handy. Just need to get a hold of her now. And yeah, I mean, in terms of our circle of friends, I am so lucky that I'm in regular chat with a nurse who is in Australia, and she used to work in the mental health department. Your mom is also a mental health nurse trained. So years ago, but still, I mean, I am in the best mental shape that I can be to tackle this, because I know that the fight is first won in my head, and Dr. McDreamy made it very, very clear that, Cindy, if you're not in the right headspace to start this,
you have to wait.
You have to wait. And I've been building my army, and you've been building your army as well. We are so well supported, and I'm sure that when you guys will see this video, even more support will come. But I do have a favor to ask. Like, I know that some of you guys will probably feel compelled to write an email or contact us on Instagram or on Messenger and all of that. At the moment, we feel very, very well supported, and yeah, we kind of want to maybe keep the interaction on Instagram and on Messenger with with the army that we've already built. Although your testimonies and all of that are so very welcome, and you can leave all of this in YouTube's comments if you feel comfortable. I read absolutely everything. And if you have more to say, but you choose to respect that part of our process that we're going through, and you want to encourage us, just leave a heart in the comments below, and remember to like this video. Tonight it is the Village Festa, and I'm really looking forward to it. When I was in the hospital, I kept on telling myself, you are gonna be dancing Pimba tonight. And so I'm gonna go for at least 1 Pimba song. And then right now we're very much living things hour for hour, because we don't really know what's happening with the MRI. But we're strong. We're really, really strong. And that's what matters the most.
Just now we just have to take down the tempo a bit.
Yes.
We can't, it's more important things than finishing stuff now.
Yeah. And I think there's going to be a lot of evolution mentally that will happen as well, because neither Dan or myself are really good at asking for help. And now, of course, while carrying the evil twins, like, we're going to need some help. Like, we're going to need some help around the homestead and emotionally and all of that. We've got the army set up. But now pretty much our only source of income has to be YouTube. So please, like our videos. We need YouTube algorithm to pick us up and go viral. And if it is ovarian cancer, I got this, guys. I got this. Like, and if you don't think I got this, like, just take a look at just, let's say, like the past 6 months with everything that Dan and I have accomplished on the homestead. And we didn't know back then, but I was doing all that work with 20 centimeters worth of mass in the stomach. I got this. I'm a fighter. And I have my husband by my side, and we're going to get through this. So now let's relax a little bit more. And tonight we go dancing, baby.
Yeah. We have to do some house calls in the village.
Yeah.
Say hello.
Yeah.